Yo, yo, this episode of Attack on Titan, episode 32, season 2, episode 7, whatever you guys want to call this episode. This is the episode I think that everyone has been waiting for. This is the Attack on Titan that a lot of people fell in love with, and this episode has been built up since the very beginning. I just got done watching it and I am just so hyped from what I just watched. Not only getting to see the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan going in and watching the Survey Corps battle him, but it was the Eren versus Reiner, Eren's Titan form versus the Armored Titan. That whole sequence was just absolutely amazing. Not only was it a great fight, but the strategy and the fight choreography and the fighting moves used during it, I was just sitting there in amazement like, how is this happening right now? Not only is Eren, by the end of this episode, giving Reiner a run for his money, but Eren is actually keeping control of his Titan form. That just amazes me in it of itself. But everyone, I feel like, got shine in this episode. Even the bad guys or the villains, you ever want to say. Getting to see, Bertolt access the Colossal Titan, finally get to see it return. And Reiner, like, even though he's, like, punishing Eren at the beginning of this episode, even like when he's on the ropes at the end of the fight and just his strategy used and actually using Bertolt at the end, I was like, oh my god. This review is probably going to be more of a reaction to what I just watched, but I'm just going to try to be as coherent as I possibly can because I cannot wait to see what episode follows this episode, because right now, episode 7, episode 32, this episode is my favorite episode of Attack on Titan thus far this season. And this fight between Eren and Reiner actually blows the Annie versus Eren Titan form fight out of the water. Just on choreography, strategy, and just the fighting moves used. It was just so tense, and just getting to see how pissed Eren was at Reiner this entire time, calling him the worstest pieces of shit. I was like, yo, this is awesome. So I just want to talk about the Colossal Titan first, and then I'll work my way more into the Eren versus Reiner fight. So, alright. The Colossal Titan. I know that a lot of people right now are going to be discussing the CGI used in the animation style for the Colossal Titan. Personally, for me, I did not find a problem with it. I thought that it was just used really good. I like the movements of it. I know a lot of people who watch more of this will probably like point out like how it's junky or like how it just like doesn't flow. I thought it was really good, and it actually, just the way the Survey Corps, when they were battling Bertolt in his Colossal Titan form, zooming around his arms and actually, bringing back the fact that yes, the Colossal Titan is very slow. We even saw that back in episode 5 of season 1 when Eren went up against the Colossal Titan, and everyone within the Survey Corps who is fighting against Bertolt in his Titan form realized this too, and it's not until Bertolt is able to activate this steam or heat that he's able to exude from his body that all of the Survey Corps are unable to actually, cut up the nape of the neck and get him out of his Titan form. And basically from that point on, they're just on standby, watching the Colossal Titan make sure it doesn't do anything. And then they just basically go on to assist Eren as he's fighting the Armored Titan. I just can't speak right now. This is just so good. But the Colossal Titan also managed to put Ymir and someone else into his mouth. So I don't know who the other person is, but we know why they captured Ymir. It's the fact that she is also a Titan shifter in and of itself, similar to Eren. So if they can capture both of these people and bring them back, that is their main objective, and that's the whole reason that everyone's fighting right now in this episode. But the Colossal bit is just very short. The majority of this episode is the Eren versus Reiner fight, and oh my god. The beginning parts, Eren is getting pummeled and he's getting his ass beat throughout the entire beginning parts of this fight, and just getting to see, like, Eren internal monologue just basically saying how, like, he looked up to Reiner as a brother and, like, a comrade, because for 3 years, everyone that is now a part of the Survey Corps has grown up basically with Reiner and Bertolt, and Reiner has basically been a big brother to everyone involved growing up in the Cadet Corps, especially Eren. He learned a lot from Reiner and actually wanted to grow up and be as strong as Reiner was. But now that there's this, he realized he's a traitor, all of that is thrown out the window, and right now Eren is out for blood and just wants to decimate Reiner, and getting to see, you know, both Eren and Mikasa trying to fight back against the Armored Titan, but because of all the armor, they're unable to pierce his skin, and you just see after blow of Reiner just going in on Eren, just punching his face out, just knocking him flat on his ass, and you know, you just see the internal monologue just getting worse and worse for Eren, where he's like, I'm gonna beat him. And I love the flashback that was used in this episode of going back to Annie, because not only do we get Reiner beating Eren's ass, we also get to see Annie again, and Annie is kicking Eren's ass. So I just like getting to see Annie again because we have not seen her in a while. And another side note, we get to see Jean in this flashback. We have not seen him at all within these past 7 episodes. So I'm wondering when he's actually gonna pop up in present day timeline, you know, fighting against the Armored and Colossal Titan. It's just something I noticed throughout this episode. But I loved how the moves that Annie was able to use on Eren while they were in the Cadet Corps, Eren has picked up on them and is now starting to utilize them, you know, in present day. And he uses the same technique that Annie used on him that he uses on Reiner. I was like, yo, that is awesome. Being able to use a stronger opponent's weight and force against them. And, you know, even though you're weaker and this person's stronger, that doesn't mean you're incapable of fighting back against them. But the flashback teased us with something very, very great, and I was like, yo, why are you teasing us with that? It was the Mikasa versus Annie bit, and we don't get to see the conclusion of that, and I was like, come on, I want to see that fight. That fight would have been awesome to see. So they teased that a little bit, but once we get done with this flashback, this is when Eren starts to take control of the fight, because he uses the same technique that Annie used on him on Reiner, and then ends up, you know, pinning him to the ground, ripping off his arm, and, you know, right now he basically has Reiner on the ropes in a way. And I love the fact that even though Eren is in his Titan form, he's able to remain in control, which we have not seen him do yet, because even with his fight with Annie, he lost control and they had to pull him out because, you know, he couldn't handle it. But right now, Eren is actually remaining in control, even though he's just so driven by anger towards Reiner. And I love the combinations of the Survey Corps, and especially Mikasa with Eren in his Titan form fighting against Reiner. So good. And then finally, that final pin to where, you know, oh man, it's just so good. That final pin that Eren has Reiner in, and then Mikasa comes in and just slices off basically the tendons of his kneecaps, and, you know, Reiner just trying his best, and you just see Eren grabbing his neck and trying to basically rip his head off. It was just so good. And basically the episode ends with Reiner letting out this Titan scream, and then we just have the Colossal Titan, you know, removing its rib cage attached to the wall and falling on top of Eren and Reiner, and we're just left with this cliffhanger where right before it's about to fall, it cuts away, and you're like, really? You had to cut it around right there? But this episode was just so good. Again, this is more of a reaction than a review, because this was just so good. This was the episode I was waiting for Attack on Titan to get to, and it delivered tenfold for me. This is the best fight that 2 Titans have gone at. It beats Annie's by a long shot with Eren, and I just can't wait to see the outcome and the aftermath of the Colossal Titan falling on top of Eren and Reiner. So good. We also got a really funny moment too with Hanji, you know, blushing because Eren's actually listening to Hanji, and Hanji is right now, it's like, oh my god, a Titan's listening to me. So that was another funny part as well. But overall, such a good episode. I want to hear your thoughts on this episode, guys. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you think about this episode? Was this the episode you guys have been waiting for? And what did you think of the overall fight between Eren and Reiner? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you guys are fans of Attack on Titan and are watching this episode as it comes out episode to episode, feel free to subscribe. I would love to talk with you guys because, man, right now it is just so good. So, end of this review / reaction, guys. I am really looking forward to episode 8 or episode 33 coming out next week. But until then, I'll talk with you guys later. All right, guys. See you later.